Miami isn't just sun and beaches, it's a living financial landscape. Miami is where beachfront luxury meets gritty affordability, a city of skyline finance and neighborhood hustle. Whether you're investing, renting, or just dreaming, knowing the rent landscape here can make or save you thousands. Today we're diving into 21 iconic zones across Miami, revealing what rent truly looks like in each and what it tells us about the future. From 1.5 thousand to 8.5 thousand a month. This is the money behind the magic. Let's start with the most iconic. What does it cost to live where the world comes to vacation? South Beach is the beating heart of Miami's brand. Glamorous, chaotic, and irresistible. One-bedroom apartments in South Beach average around $3.5 thousand per month. You're not just renting a place to live. You're paying for constant demand, short-term rental upside, and walkable beachfront. From here, we head straight into Miami's financial brain. Think Wall Street, with palm trees and rooftop pools. Brickell is Miami's finance district, flooded with high-income tenants and remote tech workers. Average rent for a one-bedroom in Brickell is about $3.4 thousand. Investors love it for stability and premium rent yields, but entry prices are sky-high. Now let's pivot from skyscrapers to street murals. You've seen the murals, now see the rent. Wynwood transformed from industrial zone to artistic powerhouse, and the prices reflect that. Renting a one-bedroom here costs around $3.3 thousand a month. It's a hot spot for young professionals and short-term investors seeking cultural cachet and cash flow. Now let's move on from edgy art to a zone of cultural roots. This is Miami's soul, and it's more affordable than you think. Little Havana blends deep Cuban heritage with growing investor interest. The average rent for a one-bedroom sits around $1.8 thousand. It's one of the city's strongest value zones for long-term appreciation. Time to shift back to the skyline. Transit, tech, and towers, this is where it all converges. Downtown Miami is the nerve center of development and infrastructure expansion. Expect to pay around $2.7 thousand for a one-bedroom. Rent is driven by walkability, amenities, and explosive pre-construction activity. Still watching? Then hit that subscribe button. We're only getting started. Lush, historic, and quietly upscale. Coconut Grove offers tree-lined streets and waterfront views without the chaos. A one-bedroom apartment here will cost about $3 thousand a month. It's where long-term renters go for privacy and family living, with great equity growth. From the Grove to the Runway, this is where you rent above Gucci and invest like Louis Vuitton. The design district fuses fashion with high-end living and serious real estate stakes. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment averages $3.7 thousand. This zone commands a luxury premium, driven by international brands and high-end clientele. Let's slide back to the water. Sky-high views, sky-high demand. Edgewater is one of Miami's fastest-growing luxury residential markets. The average rent for a one-bedroom is about $3.6 thousand. Waterfront access and proximity to downtown make this area a top pick for high-income earners. Now let's head west to where the old money lives. Think Mediterranean charm meets financial conservatism. Coral Gables is timeless, zoned to protect its classic style and property values. One-bedroom apartments go for around $2.8 thousand a month. It's a long-game neighborhood. Stable rents, low risk, high equity preservation. Ready to beach hop again? Less party, more property? This is Miami Beach evolved. Mid and North Miami Beach offer coastal living without the South Beach frenzy. A one-bedroom averages $3.2 thousand. It's popular with seasonal residents and older renters looking for views over vibes. Let's zoom in on emerging value now. This is where the investors are circling. Allapattah is rapidly transforming, with industrial bones turning into modern rentals. A one-bedroom unit here averages $1.8 thousand. It's one of Miami's most watched zones for appreciation potential. Next stop, culture and resilience. Culture, resistance, and now gentrification. Little Haiti blends legacy community with rising land values and development pressure. Rent for a one-bedroom is about $1.9 thousand a month. The zone balances authenticity with investor heat, making it a financial fault line. Let's go deeper into history. Once overlooked, now on the edge of transformation. Overtown is one of Miami's oldest neighborhoods, filled with deep history and community pride. One-bedroom prices average $1.6 thousand. Today, infrastructure upgrades and public investment are pushing values upward, quietly but steadily. Let's move to the next one. This is Miami's rent floor, but not for long. Liberty City has long been overlooked, but it's now drawing increasing investor attention. Average rent for a one-bedroom sits around $1,500. It's a high-risk, high-upside area that tells the story of urban disparity and opportunity. Let's head to the corporate suburbs, where Latin American capital fuels suburban luxury. Doral is a modern city within the city, business-driven and residentially booming. Expect to pay $2,500 for a one-bedroom. The market is strong, rent yields are steady, and international demand is high. Now a classic that's still under the radar. Hidden in plain sight, just west of Brickell, The Roads is a quiet, leafy enclave that's become a favorite for renovation projects. Rent for a one-bedroom is roughly $2,700 a month. It's where vintage meets value and long-term flips make sense. Next, elevated boutique living. This is retail royalty, on and off the lease. Bal Harbour boasts some of the most elite rental prices in Miami. A one-bedroom here rents for about $4,000. Between beachfront penthouses and luxury malls, this is where prestige lives. Towering wealth continues. The skyline says luxury, and the rent proves it. Sunny Isles is dominated by high-rise towers and international buyers. A one-bedroom costs around $3,800 a month. It's the playground of Russian oligarchs, crypto whales, and seasonal millionaires. Let's take it off the mainland. Only by ferry, and only for the ultra-elite. Fisher Island is gated, private, and astronomically priced. One-bedroom rentals average around $5,000. But supply is extremely limited. It's not just expensive, it's exclusive. Let's return to the middle ground. Big box stores, boutique condos, modern Miami in a nutshell. Midtown mixes commercial convenience with high-end rental options. One-bedroom units here go for about $2,400 a month. This is where young renters find energy, walkability, and rising property values. One more zone to go. Miami's island escape with millionaire pricing. Key Biscayne offers quiet, exclusive living just across the bay. Renting a one-bedroom costs around $8,500 a month. It's a financial fortress. Low turnover, high barrier to entry, and massive equity protection. Let's zoom out and make sense of it all. Miami's rent map is an economic X-ray of the city itself. At the top, you've got Key Biscayne, Bal Harbour, Sunny Isles, and Fisher Island, where one-bedrooms cost between $4,000 and $8,500 a month. These zones reflect concentrated wealth, low turnover, and scarcity-driven pricing. The middle band, Brickell, Edgewater, Design District, Downtown, they run from $2,400 to $3,600, where upward mobility and investor activity collide. At the entry tier, Overtown, Liberty City, and Allapattah sit around $1,500 to $1,800, offering affordability and high growth potential. This city isn't one rental market, it's a stratified financial ecosystem. But where is Miami moving next? The city's migration map reveals a powerful financial pattern. Renters and investors alike are zeroing in on opportunity. People are shifting into Edgewater, Doral, and the Roads, zones where high rent is justified by lifestyle, location, and projected return. Gentrification is boiling in Allapattah and Little Haiti, where every flip signals fast-moving capital and escalating value. On the luxury front, Sunny Isles and Bal Harbour are roaring back, driven by global wealth and high-season demand. Families are locking into Coral Gables and South Miami, drawn by school zones and safety. And though average rent growth may be slowing, all signs suggest Miami's rental future is anything but flat. Miami rent isn't just about cost, it's about strategy. If you made it this far, you're one of the smart ones. Subscribe to the Money Manual for deep dives into cost of living and real estate finance. Comment which zone surprised you most. Let's keep making your money smarter.